It was in 1980. I did a solo in Ferro di Cavallo. Of course, it's a small gallery, but from that onwards, I started to always have some participation in the show, in the exhibition. That's why, that's the reason that I slowly, I stay in Italy for that occasion, because once you have an activities of art, and then you meet more friends, more art world, and then you'll be there.
And how many
unconsciously.
Malaysian artists were in Rome?
Malaysian, I never see anybody. No. Malaysian, there's one in maybe, but no, in France usually. Malaysian artists, more of them is in London, because of the language. It's easier. Because Italy, I think they have 2 Malaysian artists in France. Quite well known, no? Lee Manson, or a few of them is quite interesting artists. Earlier, prime. Other than that, no. And it's a difficult country, actually, Italy, because it's they don't speak the language, and it's not easy to move. No, like when for Malaysian I think is used to Australia, used to London, and where the language country, English country. It's the first time to experiment, the idea of Vienna. And I'm so happy and proud to participate in this Vienna. And I think it's really good for the Malaysian artists, because no matter how we have to face the world, we have to dialogue with the other country, we have to understand other situation through art. We can communicate through art, not necessarily only politics, no. So we can communicate with beauty, with the idea, with literature, So this is going to be something. We still don't know what it's going to be, but it's important that you put a seed on it, and you see how it grows. So I'm so proud of this. Of course, all this image, I took it from the web, from the newspaper. Mostly it's from the web of the war in Syria, and it happened sometimes. Every one of us, we feel these things, we sit on it, but we try not to. Sometimes we pretend not to know anything, but it happened. It happened. So that's why I use this title, "Living Rome." It can be living, it can be life. Living. You have to live. But this is a dead city, and its architecture. You see only this ruling. I can understand when I stay in Rome. You see the ruling of Roman emperor, no? But it's 2,000 years. But now you see this is 20 years, or maybe 5 years ago. Between 5 years, from one architecture to this architecture, no? That's why I like to print this and sit like you feel at home. Because at home you see the TV, the news, it's almost daily news. So this is kind of a news. It can be when you sit on it, maybe we can drink a cup of tea. But I want to get this message, at least a small message, It can be anything anyway, if we don't look at the image. But once you look at the image, maybe this is so familiar to every one of us. So this is the idea of the Biennale of Dakar. That's why I make it. I think the title is more interesting because a living Rome may make you a little bit. Sometimes, every one of our house we have one living room, you know, and I want to make this living room, which is kind of a message. It's easy that we can build this installation here. That's why I took some pictures just to see the three solution. One, this is the carpet. Then you can print on PVC, no, PVC. This is for the carpet, and then this is for the cloth. This cloth I bring some sample.
There are three elements. There's the
Three element: carpet, sofa. Yeah. So this is going to print on this sofa, huh? Because it would let the effect of aluminium. You know, it's nice because it's shining. This is not a home sweet home. This is a home that we realize that someone have this home, and they don't have it anymore. So it's there. There's so many discussion to understand this image. I feel that that's why I did one show. It's called Emotional Crisis. In that moment, my emotion have some problem. You can't stand it anymore. You know, sometimes you say, when is it going to be end? This is sometimes every one of us, sometimes you have love story, your emotional crisis, it make you even commit suicide, no? So our emotion is emotion. I have some emotion for that. That's why I use this subject as interpret one of my work. This is maybe my other work, I don't use this anymore. But this work is touching for me, that's all. It's very different, that's why. Most of my work is about the daily life, what I see, what it happened around me. I cannot pretend not to see, you know. So anything which is so impressed, maybe it can be so beautiful, I interpret that moment I'm beautiful. But I'm so in love, maybe that moment I use that subject, right? So most of my work is when I got such a bad, heavy influence, yeah. Singapore Biennale, also it's not a new work, but two combination together, two video to make it together is new for me, for them also, because they want my work of 2001. I think this Biennale is not only good, it's almost something new. Something new even for me, because what you have invented, first thing is you start with the retro Biennale to understand the story, and then you go forward to create something which is for Malaysia is completely new. So I think all of you have a courage. I always say, oh, how can that possible? You build something which is all desert around, you know, it's around the desert. And of course, if with a good team together, I think Malaysia in the future they will say thank you to all of you, because you need courage. That's why if you ask me to do another time, I don't have courage to do that. To make myself, you know, I would try to make myself not to fall down. So in order to make your Biennale, you don't know. You just stand up on the ball. You don't know what's going to happen, you know. And anything, whatever happen, I think it's fantastic. It's beautiful, and we need this. Malaysia, we really need this. Malaysia, we need first thing, the culture, and art, and then also the understanding, no? The feeling, to the communications together, the dialogue, no. So I want to thank you also for inviting me. So proud of myself. Because I think this is the moment, in this situation, in this world situation, for me is I have, like what I said before, I have a sentimental crisis. I can't understand the world this moment. I have dreaming for so many years, going abroad. We always say that tomorrow will be best. Tomorrow is good. And I can imagine that until today is worse than yesterday. You know, so this is something make me in crisis. That's why I like this work to be not my interpretation. I like to present this work that it touched me quite deeply in this period.